Hello everyone, welcome back to the IndieGeekGuy channel, and we're back with Black Sails. Oh, it's all ramping up. It's getting a bit tense here at Black Sails Town, and I do not know what to expect going into this episode. Obviously, at the end last time, Flint made the choice to fire, whatever that may entail, but he said fire, so I assume he's attacking. He's going to attack. He's going to attack the place that has been our home for the show for the past however many episodes it's been at this point. He is now opening fire on his place that he wants to protect, but there is a bit of a paradigm shift going on, and he's trying to put his foot on it, trying to draw the line in the sand and say, if this place is ever going to survive, it needs me, it needs my plan, not that Charles Vane guy up in that fort. He's just going to lead you down a path of death and extinction eventually. So this is what I gotta do. I'm expecting that this episode is probably going to shift the gears of things a little bit. There'll probably be some consequences for certain characters, be it physical or emotional, I don't know what, but I feel like this is being built up. It's going to be a big deal, and there's going to be some sort of casualty involved with it. I don't know if I'm emotionally ready, but here we are. We're going to jump into this and see what happens next. But before we do, please consider liking the video if you do enjoy the reaction, and subscribing so you don't miss any future videos. There's also now a Discord. There's a link in the description where you can just go hang out with other members of the community, talk about this very show or movies or whatever it is you like. But other than that, we're going to jump into Black Sails. I've never seen a man so confused. Well, the cannons are firing. Yep, it's happening. It's absolutely happening.
I'm the only one who can stop him, Pastor.
Probably true.
I'm the only one who knows why he's doing it.
Also, she knows the details, so yeah. Have faith in Mrs. Barlow, apparently, is the name of the game right now.
The rumours about me and my relationship with him, they've gone quiet the past few months he's been away, and I'm concerned that when he returns, people will start whispering again. It's not the rumours that concern me, it's the scrutiny that follows that.
Yeah, especially with what you're trying to do at the minute. You do not need a bad public face right now.
They might dig past that and discover something far more damaging.
Interesting. There's that little niggle, that little puzzle piece that the show is still holding back. That I know it's there.
I saw the look on his face. The pain it caused him to do what he did. Flint killed him.
Yeah. Yes, he did. It was rather tragic.
Your word will challenge Flint. Now the thought crossed my mind.
I mean, it's a good bet that you probably would, Billy boy. Oof. So that's how it
I
is.
know what. I can't let you say anything to the man.
I hate seeing Billy like this, but I get why John's doing it. But god damn, am I happy Billy's back. I hope long may it continue. Don't push him off another boat, I swear to God.
If you were able to secure the support of the royal governor in Nassau, it might just be the thing that turns the tide in our favor.
There is no governor in Nassau.
What happened?
They demanded the governor leave the island at once. Thompson refused, at which point a dozen armed men broke into his home, dragged his wife and 9-year-old son out into the street and slit their throats.
Yeah, have a good time trying to get them pardons, because I don't think that's going to happen. That is an uphill battle if I ever heard.
Let him live. But what is clear is this. Right now, there's no law in Nassau.
Yep, things went as bad as they possibly could have done. And that's about the size of it.
The crew's banner is a sacred thing. It must simultaneously strike fear in the hearts of hardened men while inspiring and unifying all those who sail under it.
You need a banner that works, man. I get where he's coming from.
We all have the same guns, but great art has felled empires, and therein lies all the difference.
I don't understand what that means.
Yeah, but I do, so not to worry. On the rest of this island, since I've seen the draft articles, I'm fine with them as is.
But the men ain't. They got some changes you and I ought to discuss.
They're not going to be happy with Anne, are they?
You're saying something about the articles.
It can wait.
Yeah.
That ain't letting up anytime soon.
They're not happy with Anne because, obviously, people still know that she killed a bunch of people, I'm assuming.
Mum, are you hurt?
Oh, no. Oh, no. I get why Flint is doing it, but I knew it was going to have consequences. It's coming thick and fast.
And when he finds out what has been going on in this house, he will use it to ruin us.
Even if he were to find out, he wouldn't use it against us. It would be just as embarrassing for the Earl as it would be for any of us. Do you really think he wants that?
You are underestimating him.
Yeah. He seems like the kind of guy who would use anything he possibly can to get his own upper hand. There she goes.
Prepare to move ashore.
Ready the lock.
Alright, now they just need to get in the fort. This could be the slightly more difficult part. Man, they needed some earmuffs or something on that. The amount of cannons that were going off, are they not deaf?
No matter how many of his men we kill, he can find more. It's too great of a force to defeat if we attempt to fight the body of it. Only way to beat it is to cut off its head.
He's going for Flint. He's going to hope that Flint's too distracted with just taking the fort. And he's going to sneak around and...
Trying to identify how my interests diverge from yours here. I suspect you're not finding it. And it's because it isn't there to be found.
I don't trust you, dude. Do not trust. If there was ever someone who needs a big hat with a "Don't trust me" sign on top of it, it's this guy.
Find Mr. Silver for me, if you please, Captain.
Oh, God. He's going to go find Silver. He's going to find Billy. It's going to be a disaster.
I have come upon some information which changes things for you. I understand why you need this island. I understand it all because I was there the day our lives ended and all of this began. And I am asking you to come with me so that I can save your life.
I'd listen to her. Clearly, like, she wouldn't be out here for no reason, Flint. Come on now.
You told me that a measure of a man is in the moment when he is confronted by himself, by opposing voices in his head, both arguing that they are right, that one has to be wrong. To know the difference in that moment, that is what makes an officer. What makes a man. Well, I see the difference here, sir. I know it.
Will it be enough? Will it be enough to... Ah, that ain't good. That is not a good sign.
He arrived just before you did.
Oh my God, Star Wars moment.
It is too profane. It is too loathsome to be dismissed.
You thought I wouldn't hear what you've done? In my own house?
You are summarily discharged from service. No charges will be drawn against you, provided you leave London quietly and are neither seen nor heard from again.
I feel like they're definitely talking about something different, other than the whole get out of your own house larky. They're definitely talking about something else. 100%.
They took him. Took him? Took him where?
Bethlehem Royal Hospital. He is to be committed there owing to his uncontrollable grief over having learned of my affair with you.
Our affair?
That is what the story will be. Thomas is gone. And now you and I must leave this place.
I'll arrange passage for you. Anything you need that you don't have, I'll see sent to you. In the meantime, my friends will ensure that you're taken care of.
We won't be with your friends.
Yeah, it's the turn. I can see it. The turn is happening.
We're not going to Paris, or Brussels, or Amsterdam.
Then where are you going?
Nassau, bitch. The way he worded our affair there, the way he said that, sounded confused. So, and they're definitely talking about other things than what we already seen and heard. So, I'm starting to think that maybe Flint and Hamilton had an affair. That's what I'm starting to think, and it would make so much more sense of everything that has happened up to this point.
Yes, it's unorthodox to entitle a woman to a share of the profits, but this is clearly a special case. But at the moment, she is worth far, far more to this crew than the share it costs to have her.
I understand. The problem is, Max's share ain't the only item the men took issue with.
I get why they might be a bit, like, miffed by Max's share. But I still assume it's more to do with Anne than it is Max.
It's the second of the two issues I find more troubling.
What's that?
You.
Yeah.
It would appear that while the crew seems able to forgive or at least forget my part in the Mr. Hammond situation, they are aware that you were the prime mover behind it, and they are less willing to forgive it or forget it in your case. It was put to me that they will accept one or the other.
How are we going to get her to keep turning out those leads when she finds out she ain't getting her own share?
Yeah, that's not what he's thinking.
What?
Yeah.
Sorry, this is what is best for both of us in the final analysis. We will sail at the head of this crew. It just requires this sacrifice in the short term to ensure it. Anne?
Yeah. She isn't going to take it. I get why he did it, but yeah. Nope.
You thought Flint killed both me and Gates, and then you queued up to be the next to fill the post. I don't know if you're either very dangerous or very stupid.
That's a good point.
You are doing this without any help from me, nor from Whitehall, nor from anyone in London at all. It is entirely of your own making.
I still don't trust him. He's being too nice. He's being too nice, I don't trust it.
You have proven me so very wrong, and I could not be prouder of you for it.
I feel like he's preying on her desire to want to impress, and it's weirding me out a little bit.
You pulled me away from my men out of concern for
The girl's name is Abigail Ash.
That made him click.
You're going to explain to Peter what it is you're trying to accomplish here. If he wanted to convince them to support your vision for this place, he could do that. You know he could do that.
We tried it before, it didn't work.
It was a different time.
Yeah, it does sound like repeating history a little bit.
I think you're fighting for the sake of fighting. The only way to keep that voice in your head from driving you mad.
What are you talking about?
The one telling you to be ashamed of yourself. For having loved him.
This makes everything makes so much more sense. Like, talk about a 1,000-piece puzzle finally coming together.
The only thing I'm ashamed of is that I didn't do something to save him.
If you'd done something, you would have been dead, my friend. You would have been hung, drawn, and quartered, more than likely. It was a gift for him. Oh, boy. Oh, Charles. It's gonna be Charles. Run! Run! Yeah. Someone help. Someone help. Someone help. Someone help. Someone help. Someone separate these two, please. Oh, God. Jesus. Oh, that hit. Jesus. Alright, that was the reaction to Black Sails, guys. If you liked it, please hit the thumbs up button. Maybe consider subscribing so you don't miss any future episodes. But right now, we're going to talk about this episode. Whew, that got emotional real quick there at the end. And then Charles jumping in like a madman. Where do I start with this? This unpacked a lot of stuff quite quickly as well. Before I get into too much detail with it all, I am kind of fascinated to know where this is going to take things moving forward, because obviously we've had this mystery box slowly unpacking these characters and why they're here, how they got here, what was the build up to them getting here. All that stuff was slowly being unpacked, and now we've received the information. We know what happens, we've seen it play out, and I don't know, is that the end of all the flashbacks, I wonder? Is there going to be more to it? Are we going to see what happened with Peter, to see how he turned, like how he went from wanting to help them to this guy who is now just hanging people on the smallest of suspicions, I imagine the reason that turn has come about for him is that because he was associated with Hamilton and Flint, and like he's had to like flip and to distance himself so much from that, so he, you know, doesn't suffer the same fate essentially for being anywhere near associated with them. He has to be seen as being strict and not a sympathizer to pirates or anyone like them. But like I say, I'm interested to see how that's all gonna keep moving forward and where that's gonna go. But I kind of, like I've been saying this for, well, nearly since the beginning really, that I felt like there was something the show was holding back. There was a little, no matter what clue or piece of information, I felt like there was something that the show was slightly holding back, and like it was waiting for the proper moment to reveal it. And I called it earlier on in this episode. There, like the ways that everyone was talking in those flashbacks, there was some sort of double meaning behind everything. It was like trying to fool you into thinking that they were talking about something that we'd already seen, but clearly there was something else there. And then, you know, all of that was building up in my mind. And then the moment when in the flashback Flint came in and questioned like our affair, the way he said it and his surprise by the statement, that was what really made the penny drop for me. I don't know if that was late or early or what, but that was like the padlock on the suspicions that I've been, you know, they've been there for a while, to be honest. Like I thought there was definitely something of that nature, especially in this time period, that would be what it was. But you know, I just didn't want to say anything in case I was horribly wrong. But here we are. This explains a lot about Flint, his attitude in this the present day, and his anger, and I don't know what, when he's saying he was ashamed, what he's ashamed of. I don't know how truthful he's being or how honest with himself he's being. I think obviously he is ashamed about the fact that he didn't do anything to help Hamilton when he fought like he could. I think that is nagging him. But I think Mrs. Boyle was also kind of right about the fact that he lives in a time and a place where that would be something you would be ashamed of, and it would probably drive you mad. And clearly Flint takes that madness and that anger out on the people around him in his drive towards the Urca gold, and it keeps him focused, and you know, all that kind of stuff. It's, you know, it's bold, you know, to make that a centerpiece of your show and to really like go with it and make it mean something, and you know, and do it all more so. It's not like a plot point, it's a character detail. It's something about that person, and it's personal to them, and it feels real and truthful, and especially based in this time period. It just comes across as very strong and heartfelt at the same time. And yeah, it's good. It was a good way of sort of delivering, at least in my opinion, my humble opinion, which might not be worth very much. It is I felt like they delivered that in a way that was respectful to the show's own characters, if that makes any sense. I mean, it's hard to talk about anything else now after after all that, but I suppose I must talk about other elements of the episode. So John and Billy, they're kind of on terms now. They kind of have an understanding. We're yet to see what Billy is actually going to do now he has sort of got his freedom from John, because obviously John doesn't trust what he's going to say. He could upset everything, and all John is interested in is getting that gold. That is it. Billy is definitely going to throw some sort of spanner into things, I think. I don't think he's just going to go straight back to just, you know, obeying Flint. There's definitely going to be resistance there. There's going to be questions there, and obviously when Flint and Billy confront one another, that's going to be a moment, and I'm very much looking forward to it. I hope it means Billy will, you know, he had a strong mind when he was there, but it was just on the peak. He was just like trying to find himself. He didn't quite know where he lined up. He didn't really know what to think or believe, and hopefully once they have their confrontation and it doesn't end bloodily, I think Billy will sort of elevate himself into a new position and of things, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to see him re-establish himself properly within the show. And then next to that, we've got Jack and Anne, the drama that is, as I kind of predicted, that the crew weren't happy with signing a share to Anne or Max. Apparently, I just thought of Anne. Max didn't even cross my mind, but it makes sense once the episode sort of showed that off. Is that they don't want to put a share between both of them because one, they don't trust, and the other, it doesn't make any sense to them that they would give her money seemingly for no reason, because the rest of the crew don't understand her value, but Jack obviously does. And I understood why Jack made the choice he did. It would be much easier for him to talk the crew into letting Anne get a share rather than talking them into letting Max have a share. So I completely understood his choice, but boy oh boy, in terms of a personal blow to their relationship, that is a really big one, because they're meant to be like this. They're meant to stick together. If Vane survives, who knows if he will. I don't think Flint is going to be killed off. I don't think that's going to be a thing that happens. That's not in my mind at all. If that happens, that won't be happening until the last season. So that's the only thing with knowing that there are more seasons. I expect Flint will be going through most of it, if not all of it. Charles, on the other hand, could go anywhere. So my kind of guess, I suppose, is that Anne, if Charles survives, Anne will go and sort of sign up with Charles. They sort of seeded that a little bit here, that she was kind of thinking about what he might do next and if he survives and all that stuff. So that's what makes sense. Or hell for leather, she ends up joining Flint, but I don't know if that will be the case, but we'll see. Most interesting thing is it seems like Jack, and this makes sense, is probably going to be the one to find out that the Urca gold is still up for grabs and potentially pretty easy to grab at this point if he can get out there first. That's how he's probably going to get folded back into the A plot, as it were. So we'll see, because obviously Flint, once he's dealt with this Vane situation that is currently happening, and now he knows that Lord Ash's daughter's there, and that's a whole other complication, which I have no idea where that's going to go. He'll definitely act upon it. I just don't know what he's going to do. But yeah, that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting Jack will be the one to find out that the Urca gold is up for grabs still, and that's how he's going to come back into the picture, as it were. And I can see the show potentially going in a direction where it will become Flint versus Jack in some way. And that is really going to divide me, honestly, because I like both of them. So if that is how the show goes, and I think that is, like, if I was writing this show and I was sort of seeing the response and how the show was playing out, I think, Flint versus Charles, it isn't quite a split. Like, I think Charles, as fun as he is to watch and as badass as he can be, he is clearly an antagonist. He is clearly someone who falls on the side of a bad pirate, as we expect them to be. Obviously, there's Grey in there as well. They've sort of been showing him sort of being reluctant towards certain things and stuff, but he is a character who is much easier to see as a bad guy, opposed to Jack, who is also, a bit sleazy, a bit of a wheeler dealer, as it were, but he doesn't come across as brutish or anything like that. So if I was writing the show, as I was saying, it would make sense to eventually have it be Flint versus Jack, because they're both characters who I think an audience would be invested in and would create more of a, oh god, who's going to come out on top of this and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. It's interesting. This is certainly a really good episode, and it resolved a lot, and it threw up a lot of other stuff up into the air, and we'll see where that lands. Just like all of the sort of milestone episodes in this show, it does a great job of resolving stuff that you've been like, what's this? Where's it going to go? I don't know. And then it hits you and you're like, oh god, that's perfect. That makes so much sense. But then throws a bunch of other stuff up in the air that you weren't even thinking about, and you're like, oh god, where's this going to go? But yeah, another solid episode from Black Sails. Thank you for watching this episode, guys. If you enjoyed it, please hit the thumbs up button. It helps me know you liked it, and it helps to get seen by more. And maybe consider subscribing as well, so you don't miss any future episodes, get notified, all that good stuff. There is also a Discord in the description below. You can go chat with other people who are fans of this show and movies, and just, let's build up a bit of a community here. That would be a good, fun time. But other than that, thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.